All right, my guy Nick. All right, so when was that?
My
When was
guy.
that moment that you decided you were going to call Elmira your home for the next 4? You're going to set up camp up north.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no. So I think it was, playing college basketball. That was a huge part of the decision in terms of where I was going to go to school. And I remember it was the Final Four actually in the year of 2012. So this is when like Anthony Davis was playing, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Anyways, just trying to, for any of the hoopers out there. So the picture. So I'm out there with my dad, my dad's best friend, his son, who we're all good friends. We all play basketball
You went to the
together.
Final Four, right?
So we went to the Final Four.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I should have just said that to start. I'm like telling this weird way.
No, you're good.
And so we're at the Final Four, and I got a call from Coach T, who shout out Coach T, my guy. Essentially called me. We talked, and he said, he'd really like for me to come to Elmira. And yeah, it kind of just like went from there. And then we talked a couple of times after that. But I think that first conversation I had with him, I was like, I had visited the school, and then when I had that talk with him again, I was really excited to go. So
did you visit the campus before making the decision?
Yeah, I did. So I think I went up twice. One time was just like, hey, come down for a game, and it's a Friday night, and we'll have a good time. And then another time was and then another time was kind of with the fam because I had kind of told them I was really interested, and then we went for a second visit, and then and then later in that year I had that call that was just kind of a solidifying, I think, call, and kind of went from there.
All right, cool. Was there anything about that stuck out to you in making your decision? Like, I guess besides basketball, were there anything on campus or anything that like what makes Elmira, I guess, in your eyes, like in that initial moments, like that separated it from because I know you had a few other options on the table.
No, definitely. So I think Elmira is a really small school, so obviously there's a much different feel when you're going on campuses of, say, like a big school. Like I had gone to check out like URI and probably schools where I might have not like played a sport. But a lot of the ones I was checking out were more D3 smaller schools. And so in particular, something I really liked about that just in general, I think us both going to like St. Andrews together and knowing kind of like a small class size is just being able to build like real relationships with people. And kind of like, it's like more intimate, so I always kind of like that. And then I don't know, I just feel like everyone in Elmira was just like super cool. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like I went up there and everyone was just really open-minded, super friendly, had really good conversations with a lot of different people. I just felt, I was just like, this just seems like a lot of people that I would be really good friends with. So I just got like the best.
Didn't Mark Twain do a lot of his writing up there?
Dude, he did, yeah. So a huge part of Elmira's curriculum is actually rooted within Mark Twain. And so he wrote, of course I'm going to forget right now the name of the book. What's like the name of his like biggest book?
I don't know. I think he has a few.
Yeah. So
one of his biggest books.
Some of his honestly, this is embarrassing because I should know this is just such a part of our stuff that we learned at Elmira with him. But anyways, so Mark Twain actually on the campus of Elmira wrote some really big books, which is pretty crazy. And also a couple other fun facts about Elmira is Tommy Hilfiger is actually from Elmira, and that's where it was started, in his basement in Elmira. Matt Lauer is also random. From Elmira. Yeah. It's super random, right? I know. Yeah, who would have thought, like, you think, like, Tommy Hilfiger would be like, he's probably like some guy.
City, or like
right, Upper East Side. Yeah. Nope, Elmira.
Yeah, that's weird. I bet you, Mark Twain's or whatever, his influence kind of influences like all these things that you're saying. I feel like having the intimate conversations and the real relationships and all that stuff that he kind of wrote about might have like an influence on that school.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think, a huge part of our curriculum too was, really the performance and arts. And, we used to go to all these different, essentially like shows that they would have that bring like different cultures to life through different dance, music, etc. Yeah. So that was a really cool thing. I'm also blanking on the name of that.
So the arts program's pretty big.
Yeah. The arts program is pretty big. I'm trying to think of the name of it.
That's cool. You go support. Support the art shows or whatever. Or
Yeah, and it was part of like you had to go too. Like
Oh,
if
really?
if you didn't go, like it was like essentially part of it. Like
Yeah,
it was
detention.
it was a class. Yeah, it's detention. No partying this weekend.
A partying this
Can't go
weekend.
out.
You're trapped in the
Yeah,
dorms. RA is going to be
yeah,
on.
right. So that was actually a class that we had for that. So yeah, to answer your original question, though, it's definitely a huge part of the culture at Elmira, and something that I think a lot of the people pride themselves within, as you said, kind of that communication, and just being able to have a good conversation as people who are just intellectual and are pretty smart people. So I kind of felt like that was the vibe. That was a vibe there.
For sure. For sure. So on campus life, let's jump into it. A small school, I'm guessing just one dining hall.
One dining hall, brother.
Nice.
It was the campus center. That was the name of that.
How's the food?
And it got.
I think that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah. It got better. It got better. It got better.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it is what it is. I've never heard of a school that's like, phenomenal dining services. I mean,
right.
It's a college. Neither have I. Everyone. I mean, it is what it is. If you're listening to this and you've never been to college, there's no school that's really going to separate from another. There might be, but I mean, it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. It's like,
if you're only concerned about going to college for the food, honestly,
that just makes no sense.
We need to talk. We need to talk to you, buddy. We need to sit you down.
Let's
bring you out. Get you going.
Yeah. Besides,
what
were you gonna say? Keep spitting off if you.
Oh no, I was just gonna say one thing about the campus center that was kind of funny. Going to a small school was that at the campus center, that's where all the drama would happen. Like that was kind of funny. Like it almost was like kind of like high school still, where it's like even like senior year of college, like 20 something, and literally, everyone like on a Sunday would be talking about everyone's Saturdays. It's like, oh, like did you see like Dave and like Alyssa were like hooking up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like mad
putting
funny.
Together all the pieces. Did you see how Nick was behaving on Friday? And you're just like, wait, how was I behaving? Like,
it's like I don't even know, dude. So it was kind of fun, and like as we all know, that's super fun when you're just with your homies. Always the next day after drinking, and I feel like even until you're like 50 or 60, that's still like always a fun. You know what I mean? Just to hang out after, just like, oh, dude, I'm So that was super memes. fun. Yeah. And then it was also funny too because you'd always see people like you didn't want to see, like if it was like your ex or like somebody who you just like had beef with, or
that's true. Like they're all gonna grab food.
Not like there was even that much beef going around, but just like
if there were,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it happens. So it's just life.
Yeah, so that was
that's super funny. Were there other spots on or near campus that you would typically grab food from? Maybe like coffee shops or like any type of restaurant. I'm not really sure, whatever.
We were a little bit limited just in terms of a huge variety of options right next to school. You could drive a little bit to get stuff, but let me just try to think. Cozy Corner, it's called Anderson's, was like this little breakfast nook that we used to go to. That was kind of the
Could you walk there?
Yes, that was in walking distance.
That's awesome.
Yeah, then you got so the main places in Elmira, you got the Branch, which is a little, I wouldn't say a little, but it's not very big bar that everyone would go to, and that was literally like
fun.
A 2-second walk from campus.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
So that was fun. And then we also had, we had Brady's. We had, which is like an Irish kind of pub. And which is like cool. Then we had the Sand Dollar, and the Sand Dollar was just like that ratchet spot where just everyone would go to dance and get sweaty.
Love that.
And just listen to Lil Jon. And,
the club with my homies.
It's a little
song won't die. The song just keeps getting played.
Oh, that song won't die.
No,
I love that song. So those are kind of some of our hot spots, and so it was good though. It was a good time. Yeah, it was
all walking distance. Were they all in like the same plaza or something like that, or
they were all close?
Yeah, that's awesome.
All close. Everything.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was a close walk.
That's great.
So that was convenient.
So like small school dorm life. Were you in the dorms all four?
Yeah, brother, all four.
All
We
four.
actually didn't have off-campus housing, so we were
Oh, okay.
in the dorms all four, which honestly was cool though. They
Yeah,
call
I
it the
mean,
Elmira. They call it the Elmira bubble. That's what they call it,
okay.
because you're essentially just like in this bubble that you live in,
Yeah.
and and, and
That's your world.
yeah, yeah. So that was cool, and honestly,
Yeah.
everyone was like with all the parties and everything, like it was super chill. Like nobody would be like, oh, like these people like can't come here, or whatever.
Yeah,
So
so
it
you
was
kind
it
of like
was
live it
good.
up in the dorms.
You live it up in the dorms, Meyer Hall, that's like this $20 million building that they built. And honestly, I think it's one of the most expensive dorms in all of like, at least the Northeast.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so that's a super nice place to live. Yeah. And then they got
Nice.
Towers, which is like, a little bit of a step down. And then you got the freshman dorms, which is like Anderson and Columbia for all girls that would live there. Then
Okay.
you had Perry and you had Thompson. Those are kids who are a little bit, say, a little outcastish, also,
Okay.
but all very cool people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe just like not partying as much, I guess you'd say.
Right, right, right.
And yeah, so I mean, well, we had a great time, and our freshman year at this dorm that everyone lived in called Anderson Hall is just an absolutely magical place, where you have all the guys on the first floor, all guys second floor, and then all girls third floor.
Nice.
And so just an absolute, like I said, I just call it a magical place. I mean, it's just like the stories in that place, man.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Just, yeah.
If these walls could talk.
The thing that can't, I'd be in trouble.
Yeah, the thing they can't.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you're living all four, and then towards the senior year, like, I'm expecting like were the rooms getting kind of more apartment style? I'm just guessing. Was it kind of like, or was it that steady dorm life? Like you got that, you're sharing the
It
room.
was a pretty hardcore dorm life.
Okay.
It was a dorm. Yeah. I want to give it something more, but it's tough to
I mean,
say
it is
that.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. They're dorms. Yeah. So they had some other ones. They had a one called cottages, which were a little bit more of kind of like your own townhouse a little bit, but still like on campus. So that was like a place that you could live. But yeah, for the most part, we all pretty much lived in dorms. Like I said, there was one dorm though that was super nice, Meyer Hall, which is like $20-something million to build. And that was very nice. Unfortunately, wasn't able to live there. That's just a whole other story. A couple of seniors they started doing stuff by GPA instead of seniority. So essentially, like if you were just like mad smart your sophomore year, they're like, yep, like please come on in. Here's Meyer Hall. It's like Nick Caesar's been here for 4 years and he has like a 3-point-something GPA, but nope, he'll not be in Meyer. So it's like, all right, dude, sick. Like,
that's wicked funny.
I don't know. Honestly, it's actually like BS. Like a lot of people are pissed
funny.
about it, but it is actually funny. Yeah,
it's pretty funny. Yeah. So, yeah, so you kind of had some parties in the dorm. You kind of, if you were old enough, maybe not even if whatever, you can go to the bars. So that's cool. That's always fun. So I'm guessing the dorm life was kind of, not that strict. Like it was, you said it was cool. It was a cool, fun place to be. Cause some colleges, they just want everyone to go off campus with the partying and whatever. So, but some are pretty cool. I think that's huge. In my opinion, I think it saves a lot of bad things from happening. You kind of just keep it all on campus, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Was the bathroom setups like from in the dorms? Like, was it kind of just like one big bathroom that the floor kind of like shares?
Yeah, it was. Yep. So kind of how they would set that up is typically on each floor, one half side would be girls and the other half side would be guys. And like the girl side had their bathroom and guys had their bathroom. Okay. So sometimes you get people that would switch over. Honestly, if you just, who knows? And then there was on every floor there was one bathroom that was just a universal, anybody could use it. There was a tub in there. Okay. And so a lot of stuff happened in that room by both guys and girls. That was like anybody can go here. Yeah. So you had everything from, people hooking up, of the same sex, different sex,
Yeah. Yeah. I
of,
mean, yeah.
whatever flies. You got people cleaning themselves using that bathtub after doing some weird track
Right.
race maybe or something. I don't know. Like you
Yeah.
never
Just
knew.
right.
That could have even been like a birth. Like I don't, at a certain point, you know what I mean? Like if there was to be a birth on campus, like it would probably be like, yeah, like, you guys have that open bathroom on every floor. So whatever floor you live on, you know, have at it. You know what I mean? That's probably where that would happen.
Okay.
So
All right.
it
I
was
feel
kind of
that.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, because my dorm freshman year, it was just it was a gender neutral bathroom, so we just had girls and guys going in the same big community
Gotcha. What'd you
bathroom.
think about that?
It was uncomfortable.
I kind of feel like that's weird for guys and
Uncomfortable.
girls, particularly
It was
at
weird.
that age.
It was
to
very weird.
share.
Because
Yeah.
we all didn't like really know each other. It's not like we were sophomores and we had friends or something. Even that would be weird too. But like I didn't like the first couple of weeks. I didn't know anyone really. I mean,
Right. At
and
all.
yeah, and it's just like, oh, I don't know that girl, but I seen her in the bathroom before. It's like, oh, that's weird.
Right.
Like,
I don't know you, but I've smelt you before.
yeah, it was super weird. Showering next to girl, I don't know. It was weird. It was uncomfortable.
It's weird, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
it was
particularly at that
uncomfortable.
age too.
It's
It's also a good learning experience too, just to be like, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, I
can we
thought it
cut
was.
from here? Sorry.
I thought it was gonna be like. Sorry. I thought it was gonna be like American Pie at first. Like I was, oh, it's gonna be great. It was not great.
Yeah, it's like you like got to go number 2, and it's like,
yeah,
that girl. I do know the scene. I do.
Yeah, not good. So yeah, so how many people was it? Was it typically 2 people to a room or 3, 4?
Typically, it was 2 to a room.
We're at Elmira.
Yeah, about 10. No, typically we had about 2 to a room.
Your audio. Hold on, Bubble. Hold on, Bub. Your audio. Can't hear you for some reason. Oh, wait, now I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's totally like went out.
Too far away.
Oh yeah, maybe it's not picking up your the sound. Maybe I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. For that whole thing that you just said.
Sorry, I was just.
It's all right.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Good.
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 All right, so was it 2 people to a room, 3 people, 4 varied?
Oh yeah, so in terms of to a room, we had 2 people to a room, and there was pretty.
That's pretty dope, honestly.
There's good space. Yeah,
that is good space. Anything more than 2, I think, is just not.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a cram of a party. I think there was some setups that were 3 in a room, and
okay, yeah.
That's just a lot.
It is.
I don't know. Like,
yeah, I don't recommend. Yeah, can you just build like another dorm, honestly?
Yeah,
I was lucky. I lucked
too.
out.
It's like,
yeah, 3 people. I mean, it's hard enough just living with 1.
I would like this girl that I was seeing like one year, like she would live in a room with 3 people, and it's like I'm sleeping with that person, and like the other 2 people have people. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like is this like an orgy? Like what is even going on in here? Like I don't. It's like why is there so many people in one room? There's a lot of people like snoring.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure
I'm a snorer. Like I was gonna say, I'll throw the hand up, but
you're like a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So anyways,
but yeah, they got a little bit of everything at Elmira. I know the answer to this question, but I'm just going to ask it. Is there Greek life at Elmira?
There's no Greek life, brother.
There's no Greek
unfortunately.
Life. If you want to be a frat star, it's not the place to do it. Everyone listening.
Right. So this was no frats, but a huge percentage of the school does play sports, like is on a sports team. So I feel like being on a sports team kind of was like being in a frat where that was kind of your.
What if you weren't I totally understand that. What if you weren't a college athlete? Were there other options for you? Like did people typically maybe join like a club or like club sports or something like that?
Definitely. Yeah. So there was definitely options for that. I know that there was a lot of different club sports and, also a lot of different, I'm sure, other clubs, not even just sports, but
just clubs,
whatever it may be. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, there was a lot of stuff, I was part of the big events committee. So there was a lot of, I guess the reason I'm saying that is because that was the first club I ever really joined for me personally. And to be able to see like how many people are part of it, all the work that goes into it. There's a lot of stuff, dude, that, a lot of like the students really make happen at schools, which is pretty cool. And, at Elmira, that happened a lot. And there was a lot of people who were involved in that I knew who were in sports or not in sports. So I think for everybody in general, yeah, it was a great place to, have the ability to have roles of importance that made a difference that people actually cared about, like, i.e. setting up events or just doing different, ski club, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of stuff going on for sure all the time. And people were doing stuff. It was definitely not a sit and watch only Netflix. Although I'm sure a lot of people, obviously we all watch TV, but
for sure. No, I feel you. It's also the funny thing in high school, because I know especially me, I always keep an open mind or tried to, but going into college is just like, so I feel like some people are like, I'm not joining a club, like I'm too cool for that, because that's like the high school kind of mentality where it's like, I'm not going to join a club, like that's whack, you know what I mean, like whatever, like cool kids don't do club, like whatever, you know what I mean, like, or at least that's how it was when I was there. But in college it's like, if you don't join a club, it's like, all right, well now you have nothing to do, like who are you going to hang out with, like it really just, you need to join something in college, I think. You said you were part of the big events club.
Mm-hmm.
Can you
big events
talk
committee.
about that? What's that? Oh, okay, the big events committee.
Yeah.
What are we doing at the big events committee? What's going on there? You guys do big events?
Come on in, buddy. We've been waiting for you. We got some big stuff planned. So the big events committee, essentially every year at Elmira, I want to say there's 3 big events every year. Right. And those are pretty much just, like at every school, it's like concert, or certain, entertainment, just some sort of entertainment essentially in different forms. So one year we had Boston's Boy, we had Sammy Adams, which is pretty cool. Shout out Sammy all night longer. We went all night longer that night, baby. Let's go. So so we went all night long with Sammy. We also had pretty dope. We had chain smokers at one point. Actually, shout out to my boy Matty Newell, who obviously Matty. He was a big part of the big event. Yeah, Matty was a big part of the big events committee. He's one of the chain smokers in there. Oh yeah,
he's a big guy.
Let's see, he's a big guy. He's a big guy. And then let's see, who else did we get in there? We also had Time Flies. I don't know if anyone remembers those guys who did the renditions. Yeah. So they came in and they, blew everyone away. Wow. And then we had, those are the main ones that come to mind. We also had some other cool, like these Cirque du Soleil type people that came our senior year. I forget their name, but it was like that.
How many events a year would you say was going on?
I think we had about 3 big ones.
That's big awesome. That's sick. Yeah, for the big event committee. Yeah. Chain smokers is huge.
It was cool. It was right when they were about to blow up. This was Matt Newell. This is Matt Newell. That's what I'm saying, because he knew, by the way, just to preface, this is our friend from high school. But and also went to Elmira with him, but he was super into that scene.
And played basketball.
He knew he also played basketball. He knew the scene of also the underground up and coming.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say whoever got them chain smokers in 2013 or 14 was doing their homework.
Right. Like they were on their first pack of cigarettes, and like we know that they're chain smokers. Like now they're on their best. You know what I mean? Like we really got them like at Stoke 3. Like really. So it was lucky. Yeah. It was lucky. Yeah. So literally. That was cool. Yeah. So it was great to be a part of that. And like I said, everyone who was a part of that committee had a really big role, whether it was the, kind of getting people to buy tickets and setting that all up, like how that can all happen. And then obviously like handling people like Sammy Adams, like come backstage, like, like his manager, like, yep, we're going to need like 6 Red Bulls. We'll need this. It's just like, all right, we're going to go to Wegmans. Like, go grab it. Like, this is like mad funny. Like,
this is Elmira, New York. We actually don't have monsters with no sugar here.
Like there's like some stuff important. Like that. Yeah. I do remember that. I think he was kind of picky like that. I remember that.
This is in Boston, Sammy boy. Yeah.
This is in Boston, buddy.
This is in Boston.
Elmira, big. This is Elmira, boss.
You're Elmira boy tonight. So when did you join? What'd you say?
I said still going all night longer though.
Yeah, for
No.
sure. For sure, bro. For sure, dude.
For sure.
For sure, bro. All right, word. So when did you join the big events committee and why?
Big events. Yeah. So I joined the big events committee my senior year, and I think I was looking to bolster the resume a little bit, just to get a job like after school and stuff like that.
Sure.
And another reason was I think I knew a lot of people who were in it. Like a lot of my friends were in it. So honestly, they were kind of just like, dude, you should just join it. Like,
you should,
et cetera. Yeah. So I did that, and I really enjoyed it. Another group that I did was called ENACTUS. And that stands for, it's an acronym for Entrepreneurial Action US.
Okay.
And it's they have chapters, I think worldwide, at least nationwide. And essentially, what happens is each school is granted with a certain amount of money. And then you kind of come up with a plan for how you would implement that money to help. Each year it's to help a different sector of like entrepreneurship. Okay. So I think my senior year it was like helping out like small businesses. And essentially, we each chapter then gets to put together a team that goes to like DC to present at the ENACTUS worldwide or nationwide conference. And then if you win that, then you go to St. Louis. Anyways, I actually got picked to be on the team my senior year that went to DC. It's only like 5 people.
Wow. Look at you.
I know. Sorry, that sounds really.
And how does that? No, it doesn't. Like
but
how does that?
I'm just reflecting back.
Well,
like,
no, I
cool.
mean, what do you do now for work? Are you an entrepreneur? Or?
I am an entrepreneur now. Yeah. So
exactly. So
good.
Yeah. This might have got the gears going. This might have got the wheels turning, brother.
Right. Yeah.
Some big stuff. Some big stuff here.
Yeah. So that was cool. So ENACTUS was cool, and going to that conference was that was very legit actually. And
nice.
Yeah. So it was great. Just I guess what I would say is I wish I had joined earlier. So anyone listening, get involved early, like in these clubs. Like I think I felt the same way. Like my first couple years of college, I was just like, that's like, I don't know. Like I'll do it junior year. I guess to do it. Or I'll do it later.
I'll do it junior year. I'll do it senior year. I'm only a freshman. I don't need to join anything. I don't need to do internship. I don't need to do resume builder and clubs. Like, nah, you do. Just get it done early.
Yeah, just go.
Just hop in early. Yeah, totally. Right. So when did you join both of those? Like junior year?
So that was senior year.
Oh, okay.
Actually, bloomer. So I wish I had. Yeah. So I wish I had joined earlier. So that's why that'd be my.
Well, you were probably a little distracted with sports. Maybe.
It was definitely busy.
Not
with
distracted,
basketball,
but yeah, you were busy. Yeah.
I think by the time I reached my senior year, I was ready to allow myself to be interested in more things other than basketball. I think other times I was like, that's like my whole thing. I want to put everything into that, being the best I can be towards that.
Yep.
So
next Michael Jordan. Yeah. Right.
At least Larry Legend, man.
Not with that jump shot, kid.
Yeah.
So, basketball. Let's just kind of like talk about that. What's I guess like what's the deal with that? Like what's up with preseason? When does preseason start? When is the season? Postseason, are you chilling? Are you doing workouts still? Is there still team commitments? If you could just speak on a little bit of whatever, everything.
Yeah. Definitely. So playing basketball was great at Elmira, D3 Empire 8 conference. And, we played schools from all across New York. I don't know, Nazareth, Stevens Institute of Technology, Alfred University, just if any of these names ring any bells for anybody, Ithaca, etc. So essentially, so the season starts, I think tryouts are in October.
Okay.
And then, then you go from there, and that's when the season starts, and that goes through February or March. And then in the off season, I mean, you're working, still while you're at school every day, you have, to at least lift and play ball in some sort of way, almost pretty much every day. And then in the summertime, obviously you're on your own, but you should be, there's a whole, they give you essentially something to follow to work out and play ball with. And then, come ready for the beginning of the season. The preseason before October is just like, oof, a lot of running, a lot of getting in shape, and
Flight
really
school.
just building chemistry. Yeah. So,
Get you on that track
so yeah.
team. Track team life.
Oof, man, they had your boy running, man. Um, actually won my sophomore year. I actually won. I came in first place in one of the 5-mile races we had. It
Wow.
was the first time I ever won a like
A run.
race. Like, I don't know, like a run. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
never
pretty
won
awesome.
that, still to this date too. I don't know if I'll do any more, but
Yeah, right.
anyways, so yeah, so so it was just a lot of conditioning and stuff like that in the
In
preseason,
the
but
preseason.
it was all good. And I'll tell you what, I mean, there is something to be said about doing intense cardio like every day and like playing ball for a couple hours every day. I do kind of miss that. It was fun. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, even though it was a grind,
All right, Bubble.
it was fun.
All right.
But
Right. What's did you have double sessions in the, like what, how practices every day during the season was practice every day? I remember it was pretty intense, right?
it was, we had a regimen of low rest and high volume. So
There you go.
we were pretty much on every single day, whether it was a game, a practice, a lift in the morning. So, it was a lot. It was definitely a lot, but all good stuff that kind of feel like a lot of times now when I'm like dead, I'm like just thinking back to them, like, all right, like you done this before, man. Like you got this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
yeah,
I
man.
actually forgot to ask about the library situation. So, do you have like one? I'm assuming one library.
We had a library. Yeah, we had one library, the Garnett Tripp Library,
Mark
and
Twain Library.
3 floors. Yeah, Mark. Actually, it's called the Garnett Tripp, but there's a statue of Mark Twain like on a bench, like he's just like sitting with nobody. It's like it could be you if you want
Yeah,
to go
it
sit
could be
next to him.
you
Like,
if you want to be the
like,
next Mark Twain.
oh, if you want to be his buddy.
Or his buddy.
So it's good old buddy.
Take a
Buddy up
seat,
there.
buddy.
Yeah, why don't you grab a seat, bud? But yeah, so we had a library.
So 3
Which was good.
floors. Are they selling food and drinks in the library, or you got to kind of bring your own type of thing?
I think you're on your own in
You're
the
on your
lib.
own.
There's water fountains,
Okay.
bubblers as we call them around.
Bubbleless. 1, 2, 3 floors.
Yeah.
3rd floor, quiet floor. Question mark.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. 3rd floor, it was quiet. Main
Not a
floor
sound.
was, not a pin drop.
Not a pen. Yep. Not a pen drop. Nope.
And then,
Hold on to your pens on the 3rd floor.
yeah.
You're gonna get kicked out.
If you gotta sneeze, head on down to 2, brother.
You might have to go to the
Yeah.
bathroom. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Go into the hallway. Thanks.
So not a peep on level 3.
Okay.
Level 2 was public shame through stairs. If you talked even like
Okay.
more than this, like if I was to talk like this, like people would be like,
right.
And then downstairs was like a free for all. Like honestly, sometimes I was like,
yeah,
I'm just gonna
that's a
bring,
social
like, a pack
hangout.
of, like
Yeah.
beers and just chill.
Yeah.
Because then you had all the
Lots of-
computers down there and all like these really nice Mac computers down there that people would use. So
yeah,
downstairs was like,
yeah,
you know,
that's like
it
a
was fun.
social hangout. Yeah, exactly.
Right. That was a hangout.
Was there? You did mention there's like a student center type thing, or was there not? Was there like a student center type thing?
We had the campus center.
Okay.
We did have a student center.
What's the campus center?
So the campus center, that's where all the food was.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But also in the campus center, I think the student center, was in there.
Okay.
There was just like a little chill area.
Where you could just like kind of lounge.
Right.
Okay.
Lounge.
Would you ever go there to study or anything? Or no?
No. I probably did my best studying actually in the library, probably on the 3rd floor. No talking.
Yeah.
That's probably
That's what you got to do. Me too, honestly. Unless you're doing like a group project, you really just gotta suck it up and go to the third floor.
Yeah, I know.
All the way up.
Yeah. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Yeah, put that song on when you're going to the library. I'm all the way up.
She headphones around.
Yeah, get your headphones in there. Any other places to study? Would you ever study in your room? Did you have a desk in the room?
I did have the desk in the room. I feel like it was kind of tough in the dorms just because like
Roommates.
Not only was it with all your boys, but then everyone in the whole school was there. Like, yeah. And then there's just like also like girls like on the other side. So it's just like,
right.
It's just like a lot. It's just like a lot going on.
Too much going on at the dorm.
Yeah.
It's really just kind of like a last minute, late night, maybe.
Yeah,
just the
honestly, maybe early morning. I actually did
early morning.
Early morning was my jam. Right before like class, like if I had a test or something, I wake up super early. And also study tip. I also read this in a book too that confirmed why I did this, but I don't know if you guys, anyone listening, feels this. But like, if you're super warm and say you have like really comfy socks on and like a nice sweatshirt and like stuff. I'm talking like to my East Coast peeps, like when it's cold AF out. Like when you're super warm, you can actually stay focused better. So like, and I actually read something in a book that like when your body's warm, it like increases your ability to think better.
Yeah.
So
I've read that.
I don't know. So
I've heard that
kind of
too.
weird thing. Yeah. So I used to bundle up in the morning time and go study in this little nook and cranny, this little room. I don't even know how to describe it. That was like on our dorm.
Yeah. And, pretty chilly up in Elmira, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
upstate New
really
York,
cold.
Right?
That's upstate.
Yeah, it's right next to Canada,
right? Yeah, right there where the guy's sharing a barn, pretty much.
There he is.
There he is. Like,
the animals in the bottom keep us warm at the top. Any other places? You go to any coffee shops or just like library or nothing?
Man, there really wasn't, I would say, too many coffee shops. There was this really good food place. Man, I can't remember the name of it. I forget.
That's all right.
But it's kind of like a little, kind of like nice, natural, like all natural food. Kind of like, you know what I mean?
Organic.
Like organic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
grass fed only. If it's not grass fed, we're.
This isn't
the story you're looking for.
Heritage. If it's not heritage raised, I mean, I'm not even trying to hear it. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I hear you.
So spot like that, all heritage raised.
Nice. Well, hey, Brahim, this is all I got for you. I'm done interrogating you, and thanks for coming out here today. A day in the life.
Yeah, no, thanks so much, man, for having me on. And I would say to anybody who's thinking about a college choice, Elmira is definitely a great one. And the small school vibe is definitely one that I don't think you would regret. It's really fun. So.
Hell yeah. All right, brother.
All right, man. Love you, Doug.
Love you, bro.
All right, man. See you.